Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Moon Mama podcast. I'm Bria Jamie, and I am a wife, I'm a mama, spiritual practitioner, creator, actor, host, all these fun creative things. And I'm 40 weeks pregnant at the end of my pregnancy. And I just wanted to, this is probably my last little podcast before baby comes, and I really wanted to just spontaneously do this little episode to just share with you kind of what's been going on and a little bit of tips for pregnant mamas out there or just parents in general. And because, end of pregnancy, I don't know about you all, but it can just do a lot. It's like the ultimate surrender time. It could do a lot to your mind. You're just waiting for baby, and you're really having to trust the process in your body, your mind, your spirit, and your baby. So that's what I want to talk about today, and just kind of let you know also where I'm at. I'm literally, so it's Thursday. Today is the summer solstice, so happy solstice. We are finally also in Cancer season, and it's officially summer. And if you guys know me by now, I love to talk about the seasons and the astrology around them, the solstices, the moons. Obviously, it's the Moon Mama podcast. I'm very connected to the moon and our cycles and just being a woman and being in our feminine. And I think pregnancy is such a cool time for that too. And I have a lot on my mind actually regarding, the moon and pregnancy. And I've talked about it a little bit before, how honestly my relationship with the moon was so much more strengthened after my last birth, my first birth and with Soul. And if you heard my birth story on my last episodes, I talk a little bit about this, but like the moon literally helped me birth. I didn't know I was going to be having a full moon baby, but I was already very connected to the moon, into the full moons, new moons, following the tides and the cycles. But then I birthed my baby on the full moon, and I just had like a whole other respect for the moon and us being women and our cycles. And then when I started bleeding again, exactly 3 months postpartum, I would say, and it started to sink into me bleeding on the new moon for about, I would say, at least 6 cycles. I was bleeding consistently on the new moon up until I got pregnant. It was pretty wild. So I got pregnant this time when Soul was a year old. So I probably had 9 periods. And they became so much more magical for me after having Soul. Also because of the ceremony I was doing, the rite of the womb. I also have a podcast episode where I talk a little bit about that. But this rite of the womb, I've actually continued on to keep doing it, even though you only really need to do 13 cycles to technically become a womb keeper. You don't have to do the ceremony every month. But I love the ceremony so much that I've continued to do it every time that there's a full moon or when you bleed. So during pregnancy, since there's no blood, you would do it on the full moon, or you could do it on the new moon. I feel called to do the full moon because I just feel that like fertile energy, and I just think it's magical to do it. That's what works for me. So I've been continuing on, and tomorrow's the full moon. Tomorrow's the full strawberry moon. Tomorrow, Friday, and I'm not 1,000% sure baby's coming tomorrow or today, or who knows when she's deciding to come, honestly. But I'm ready. I feel super ready, especially now that it's Cancer season. Since the beginning, I've been like, I'm having a Cancer girl, and she's going to be born around the solstice, and that's this weekend. So like I said, I birthed Soul in the full moon last birth, and I'm wondering if I'm going to have another full moon baby. It doesn't have to be. I'm not attached to anything. It just seems cool, though. And also Monday sounds cool to me, too, because I'm naming her Luna, and that means the moon, and Soul was literally born on Sunday. So I just wonder. But I just want to say also, like, because I'm almost 41 weeks, like today's Thursday, and on Sunday, on the books, to the law or to my birth center, I'm 41 weeks on Sunday. I have technically till 42 weeks to birth at the birth center, to birth out of hospital, to birth with a midwife. Legally in California, on paper, you gotta be within 42 weeks. I don't agree with this stuff. I think it's really not right, to be honest. I don't believe in due dates. I think that you gotta follow your cycle. I don't believe in the ultrasounds that come up with a due date to begin with. And I get that, you take a first initial ultrasound, and the earlier they are, the more accurate they are. That's what they say. But I don't even believe that, because if so, then why wouldn't our babies come on our due dates? Like, babies come when they're ready. And they can go up to 43, 44 weeks perfectly healthy, perfectly fine. And, there's just all these unnecessary interventions when the medical community or other people get involved, and they're trying to push all these things, and there's all these laws, and it just gets overwhelming, and stress happens. And I talk about it in my birth story podcast, that I was just so beyond stress because of all these like things that need to happen once you hit 41 weeks. Thankfully my birth center is not too strict about anything other than at 41 weeks. You got to do the NST ultrasounds, and I'm like, I don't want to do those. They encourage, to obviously get things started if you want. You don't have to, but thankfully there's no inductions happening at a birth center. And, they'll offer a membrane sweep, which I'm totally down to do on Monday. I really do want to have my baby at the birth center. So, if it gets towards the end of next week, I will do the castor oil. Don't really want to, but I also need to stop saying that, because what if I do have to? I don't have to, but I also don't want a hospital birth, and I don't know if I feel comfortable free birthing yet. So I'm just going to follow my intuition. Anyway, it's just one of those things, like, we really have to surrender. We really have to trust, and you really got to be with your baby, and you got to focus on your energy and what you want in the birth that you want. And there's a lot of energetics that go into this part of the process as well, because of, what can be holding baby back, what can be holding you back. So those are things to like check in with yourself, and I'm checking in with myself too. Now I feel fully ready, because I honestly haven't been ready, and there's just all these things to do. Like, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. And I've had to let go of those things also, because I just realized not everything's going to get done, and baby's going to come into this world and our earth space with things being a little messy, with things not being fully complete. And that's okay. And that's us. So I know there's just so many things to do in the last few weeks of pregnancy. There's all these suggestions and things to get labor started, but that's why we have to be so patient and just trust that you're doing the best that you can and know what's best for your body. If it's taking dates or putting primrose oil up your vag, or, taking birth prep, doing all these exercises, or having lots of sex, whatever it is, like, there are so many things, and they can be very beneficial. I just went to acupuncture yesterday. It's been already more than 24 hours. I'm not in labor, so I did that last time at 39 weeks, almost before 40, and nothing happened. So I don't know. Babies still come when they know that they're supposed to come. So we can always say, oh, well, this made me go into labor, or this made me go into labor. Look, I did castor oil before, and I did go into labor at least 12 hours later. I don't know if it was that. I think maybe it helped. But I think baby, he still it took almost 40 hours after that. Actually, it took almost 3 days after consuming the castor oil for that to even happen. So, you just have to go with it. You have to trust your body and your baby. And trust your instincts and your intuition. If you feel like, okay, I do want to do this, and I do want to go this route, and I do want to aggressively try this. Not that it has to be aggressive, but for me, castor oil is a little bit aggressive. Maybe you got to be a little bit more, okay, this is what we're going to do. I need to tell my body in this way. Because every body is different also. Sometimes you need certain things to get things going, and certain things might not work at all. And a lot of it is also just talking to yourself, talking to your baby, talking to your wise self, calling in your guardians. I've been doing a lot of chanting recently, these vocal toning, actually, I want to make a whole separate podcast about it because I've not found many resources on this, but I've been reading about it in some really amazing books. And also I do, and this, I'm a singer, and a lot of my vocal work that I've done and transitioned into is a more spiritual throat chakra activating experience. So, stay tuned because I'm going to be offering this workshop in class again soon, Raise Your Voice, that I was doing. But we do a lot of this vocal toning and chanting, and it really does help during childbirth and pregnancy. And my one of my best friends, she just told me like she had a download of me chanting a specific thing during labor and birth, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm so doing that, and it's just perfect. And that can also really help. So I'm feeling that, like, my download has been sing and dance your baby out. That's what you've been doing this entire pregnancy. That's what this girl is all about. Do it. So that's how I know that she's going to come also. I do feel really good about this weekend though, but there is a surrender because I do have little bits of doubts here and there that pop up of like, well, what if it's still next week and she's not here? What if I still have to go to the ultrasound? What if it's like soul and I have to do this castor oil? I just also have to accept those things too. So I'm in that middle of that process. Obviously, my babies come after 40 weeks because this is a second baby and she's past her 40 weeks. Like I said, I don't believe in these due dates. Technically, my ovulating calendar and my cycle tracker on my phone, that says June 22nd, which is Sunday. So, or Saturday. It also is my husband and I's like dating anniversary, so that's super cool. This is just like the best time. I don't know about you guys, but I'm feeling this amazing, friendly, summery energy of just like getting out there, community, love, friendship, just birth vibes, like all the party vibes, like just fun. And I just feel like this is such a great energy to birth, and I'm super, super excited. I'm ready for this girl to come. I'm surrendering, flowing, waiting to feel things. Not exactly waiting, but I'm allowing myself to feel things and fully opening up to that, breathing through that, allowing my heart, my mind, my body to just be open to all the sensations and to absorb them all and feel them. So right now this is a super spiritual time. Mama, if you're in the end of your pregnancy, just trust and know that this is you're about to have a very transformative day of your life. And you are in one of the most spiritual, transformative times and periods of your entire life. And it just gets better and better and more evolution from here. So you have to just trust. That's all you can do. And just love. Bring only love into your field. Our birth field is so powerful, and, being careful and mindful with what you consume. Obviously physically, but I mean more like just all around, like in your mind, like what you're watching, what you're listening to, what you're reading, what's popping up, what energy, where you're focusing your attention and your energy to, what people are saying, what you're allowing is all coming into your birth field right now. It's very quantum. So the more high vibrational that can be, the better experiences in birth that you can have. And labor experiences. So I've been definitely keeping an eye out on that. There's sometimes that I'm like watching certain things or reading certain things, and my husband's like, why would you even be watching that right now? You shouldn't be putting that in the field. And I'm like, okay, you're right. Or like, there's a way also, like if somebody is going to give you advice or talk about their experiences and story, you can accept and still hear that, but you can also energetically at that moment shut off and like almost put up like you know what, this is a good analogy and I want to share this with you. You can basically what we call closing the lotus. Imagine you have this open lotus at your abdomen, your solar plexus, just shining out all day long, right? And when you come across something that you don't need to absorb, you just imagine and close that lotus. So the lotus flower, it's very open. And we're these receptive beings that are grabbing stuff all day. So that's something that you can do, especially during pregnancy, because we are so sensitive and our intuition is heightened. Our everything is, and we're just taking in so much into this field. So people are going to share their stories with you. They are going to give you advice or try to say certain things. And, sometimes you don't want to just be rude or just say, I don't want to hear that, or sorry, I'm not going to listen to that. And please, if you need to, and if you need to have a boundary, like, go for that. But there's moments where you do want to be a listening ear, if it's a friend of yours or somebody who is not trying to disrespect or be any type of way, but you just know also, like, it's not your story, and you can just energetically, internally turn off. So closing that lotus, just kind of imagining this flower closing up on your abdomen and just knowing that you can be this blank space, but still hold space. It's just not in your space. It's not in your field. So that's just a little something that I want to share with you, because I know, especially towards the end, like, fears can start getting even more, like, dominant. They can start getting stronger. Doubting can get stronger. This is that time where you got to really, really get strong and call on your guides, your angels, your highest self, God, source, whatever it is for you, whoever it is that you're working with, to help you, to support you. Know that you're not alone, and you have helpers on the other side that are helping bring the soul to the body through you. And it's so magical. It's so precious. I'm so grateful. I've literally had the most amazing pregnancy and journey, and I'm just so excited to meet this baby girl and birth her. Like, I feel like I've moved past the fearful point. I did have a few weeks of being really, like, kind of in a fearful, doubting place, especially with my platelets being low and having to get my blood drawn every week and test my blood and just do all these things and completely change my diet and, like, start worrying, like, if I wasn't going to be able to be in care at my birth center. Just all these things, starting to pop up. Oh, is it going to go like last time? What's going to happen? But we're here and it's happening. I'm about to go into labor. I know it. And, like, the next either day or 2 or 3 days this week, it's happening. I'm at the end. I'm embracing all of it. And I'm just sitting in pure gratitude, pure love, pure light. Just so thankful for this pregnancy. It's been a dream. Honestly, it really has. And I want that for everyone, for each and every woman. You deserve to have a beautiful pregnancy. You deserve to have a beautiful birth and a beautiful experience. And look, if there's anything that you feel like might be blocking that, or you don't think that you can have that, I'm here. I would love to talk to you. I can do a one-on-one call with you. We can help do some clearing energy work to help just kind of get to a good place where you just feel grounded and excited about this transition, because it is a lot. It's a totally new life that you are about to have. Whether it's your first baby, your fifth baby, or, just that it's constant. We're just constantly evolving and changing, and motherhood really does that. It stretches us in so many ways, physically and emotionally, spiritually. It's a beautiful thing. So, I will just tell you also all the, like, physical things that I'm doing, just in case anybody wants to hear that part. I know some people really like that. There's a lot of things that you can do for birth prep, labor prep, just to support your uterus, support your cervix, support your body in getting ready to birth. I've learned a lot from this amazing course called the Mighty Mama Movement. I will link it just so that you guys can have that if you feel called. It's a really awesome online course. I learned a lot from it, got a lot of resources my last pregnancy, and I've used them this time. So towards the end, you can definitely start taking dates, like 4 to 6 dates a day. Those help soften the cervix. You can do evening primrose oil. I think it's like up to 3,000 mcg. You can do that either vaginally, just poke a hole in the capsule, or you can also take it by mouth. Pineapples, pineapple juice, spicy food, lots of sex, curb walking, things that open up the pelvis, any like exercises, squatting, your birth ball, extended side lying. You could do the Miles circuit. You can look at that up online. That's like a combo. It's like a 90-minute cycle that helps get baby in the right position. I think one of them's the side lying, extended side lying, curb walking, and I think there's like the folded over inversion, but it's like really, you can look it up online. Chiropractor, acupuncture, massage, anything that helps you feel relaxed. And what helps contractions is oxytocin. So I think sometimes people also, just so you know, like, we can tend to overdo it with all these like stimulating things, like also the pregnancy tea, the red raspberry leaf that has like you can either just do the red raspberry leaf, or they also have a lot of different herbal mixtures. But so much of it, guys, it's oxytocin that's going to keep your contractions going. So that's pleasure. That's your pleasure hormone. That's your sex hormone. That's how you got this baby in here. So that's how you're going to get your baby out. So for me, I am really holding an intention that I have more sexual pleasure this pregnancy, this birth, pregnancy. I've had some really great sexual experiences this pregnancy, but during my birth and my labor, actually. Now, you don't want to have sex after your water breaks, just because it can introduce bacteria into the area that you don't want any bacteria in. But if you're like just getting into early labor, you can definitely do that. And like, nipple stimulation is really good. You can pump a little bit. These are all amazing things that you could do at the end of your pregnancy to start getting your body prepared and, get labor started. Now, you might do all the things and baby's still not coming. Don't freak out. Like, baby's still going to come. Okay? You got to just hold this mantra. I know there's people out there that are going to hear me say that and they're going to want to doubt. I've doubted. I mean, I literally thought in my mind, my baby's not coming. Like, what the heck? Like, my baby did come. Okay. So, you'll know when you know what you got to do, when you got to do it, whether it's a medical route, whether it's doing some castor oil. Cause I'm just going to say, I would save that for the last resort, because castor oil can be aggressive. And I did do that. And it was not fun. I did not like it. And I think it affected my labor a lot. So I think there was just too much going on at once to my body, where it wasn't just labor. It was like labor plus diarrhea, stomach, laxative problems. Also, my baby did poop inside. And it's not the end of the world. It's not the worst thing. He was totally healthy and fine after. But he did have his first poop, in the womb. So, I don't know what that could have possibly done for him, or what that must have felt like, but it's not the most gentle. I mean, it's gentler probably than Pitocin in my opinion, but that's a personal choice and personal preference. I personally would rather do castor oil than get a Pitocin induction. So that's my opinion. You got to figure that out for yourself. And that's also just the whole point of everything, right? This is your body, your birth, your pregnancy, your labor. You get to use your intuition, tap into that, and know exactly what to do, and trust that. And drink a lot of water, because that gives you your intuition. It's hard to think clearly or be fully access to your intuition when you're dehydrated, or just like your body and your brain and your mind and everything is a little bit needs some hydrating. So these are amazing things that you can do to get labor started. I should write a blog post. I want to about all these things. There's just so many. I'm sure there's some I'm forgetting to mention, but I just wanted to mention those here. If you have any questions, you can definitely ask me in the Q&A about when to get those things started, because I can't tell you off of the top of my head, but I've been doing a lot of them. Also, there's a cervix softener tinctures. There is birth prep formula by Dr. Christopher's, which is a really amazing herbal supplement that I have personally been taking for, I think you take that 4 or 6 weeks before birth. It's a 6-week birth prep. So it really helps get your uterus toned and prepped for labor. Really big on the vocal toning. Start doing some toning. Just move. Keep your body moving, active. Rest as much as you can. And just know that you got this. Give yourself those affirmations. Do some hypnobirthing affirmations. You can find some podcasts on those. Make your birth playlist. Just get in your good vibes, like oxytocin. Seriously, like being in that pleasure mode. Like if you have a baby or kids, kiss and hug your kids. Like be close to them, your partner. Love all over them. Accept all the love. Just know that there's love flowing all around you. That's the best environment that you can give for your baby, and for your birth. And that's just the energy to be in. And just know that you're gonna do it, and you're gonna make it through, and you got this. So, pregnant mamas listening to this, I hope that was helpful for you, or if you're trying to get pregnant, or that's in the future, just know that you got this. I'm telling myself this too. All of this info. But we're in summer now, guys, so I'm super excited for this next season podcast that I'm creating. We're in season 2. Wow, on summer solstice, starting season 2. I love that. And you know what? I might be having some guests on this season. We'll see. I did have somebody reach out to me about wanting to be on my podcast. I've had a couple people talk to me about that. So I'm going to see if that's something that feels right. We're going to see what happens. But I love doing this podcast. And I appreciate every single person who comes on and listens. You are magic. Just remember that. And remember, you can do anything you set your mind to. And that this is your life, and you can create it however you want. And I'm here for support, so please reach out if you feel like you resonate and you want support. I'm here for you. And other news, I'm super excited about this, and I just remembered I have to share because I just literally said a line from my song. I have a song called Fight This Fight that I wrote a few years back. I'll talk about it more in another podcast, but basically it got chosen for this amazing movie to be like the theme song and like in the end credits, and it's called Unnamed. The movie is called Unnamed, and it's premiering at the Chinese Theater in Hollywood next Thursday, June 27th at 9:15 p.m. You can go on my Instagram and get tickets if you're able to attend. But I'm so freaking excited. Honestly, I don't know if I'm going to be able to be there just because I don't know when baby's coming. Baby could be coming that day. Hopefully she's here already before, but honestly, if she's here this weekend, I might just try to go and take her to her first red carpet. But I'm super excited about this. I just wanted to announce that because it's like one of the biggest things happening in my life. Like I need to go. So baby girl, you got to come this weekend so we can go to our first red carpet. Anyway, oh my gosh. I thought this was going to be a 10-minute podcast, but it ended up being almost 30 minutes, and I'm laying down. My husband said, go take a nap. You need it. And here I am recording a podcast. I just felt really called to do it because it's probably my last one that I'm doing before baby. So thank you for listening. And like always, please like and follow or subscribe, however it works on here. Give it a 5-star rating if you enjoyed, and leave me anything in the Q&A that you want me to talk about next time. Thank you so much for listening, you all, and have a beautiful, beautiful summer, solstice, full moon, all the things, Cancer season. It's really a great time, so go enjoy it. I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.